Here are 7 signs that the ex is still controlling your man. Number 1, there are no established boundaries. And what does that look like? She may want unlimited access to your man. That means she wants to be able to call, stop by, just be in his life like it was in the past, okay? She wants to control her house, but she also wants to control his or yours if you are already married. That is a clear sign that no boundaries are put in place. I'm Coach Verlyn, and I'm here to help you deal with being the next wife in your husband's life or your significant others. All right. Sign number 2, and I'm just running through this. I'm going to take each one of these points and do an episode about it. When I say, let's go back to number 1, there are no boundaries, that means anything goes. All right. That means she is still calling the shots. That means everyone around her is still moving in a way that she is still in control, whether it's your man or the children, but primarily when it comes to your man, she still feels that whatever she wants, she gets. We call that entitlement. All right. Number 2, listen carefully. If your man makes excuses for her behavior, that is a clear sign that she is still in control. She is still manipulating, because instead of making corrections and saying, you know what, I understand what you're saying to you, instead of that, he's saying, well, she does this because, well, you have to understand that's just the way she is. I've been dealing with this for a long time. Maybe you might even hear, she doesn't mean any harm. We're just trying to do such and such. Anytime you call her out to your man and he begins to make excuses for her behavior, that is a red flag. That is a sure enough flag that says, you know what? She's still controlling him. She's still manipulating him, because when there are clear behavioral problems, instead of dealing with them, if he wants to brush it under the rug, pretend it doesn't exist, or even worse, act like it's just you, he doesn't see it. That's a problem. Number 3, pay attention. If your man gets anxious or he doesn't stand up to her, then you know that she is in control, that she is still manipulating him. What do I mean when I say gets anxious? He gets a little nervous. He gets a little antsy. You can tell he doesn't want to confront a situation. He doesn't stand up to her. Again, we're talking about correcting, all right? Command and respect. And no matter what she does, your man doesn't check her. That is a clear indication. If she's allowed to do whatever, say whatever, be whatever, and your man won't check her, that means he does not want to stand up to her. If he gets nervous when she calls, nervous when he has to drop them off, or nervous when she has to pick them up, meaning the children, that's a clear sign that she's still in control, that she's still manipulating him. Why? Because fear of repercussions, especially when children are involved. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, if there are no children involved, there would probably be no relationship between two people who are no longer together, meaning they're either divorced or the long-term relationship is over. But if there are children involved, then yes, there always going to be some interaction. All right. Back to fear of repercussions. Sometimes a man does not want to stand up to his ex because he knows the tricks of the trade, that she will use the children against him. He knows that she will turn the children against him if it is in her best interest. It doesn't matter about the children's best interest or not having their dads in their life. If the ex sees that she can control and manipulate your man by using the children, this is an example. If she does something that's unethical or cruddy that he checks her, she will go to the children and either make up something or put the story in a way that makes her the victim and the father the bad guy. All right. And in that sense, you know what happens? Children primarily believe their mother, so they will dislike the father. They will be angry. They will have attitudes. And so what happens? She just does whatever. And again, because of repercussions, he will not stand up to her. He will not check her because he wants to be a hero to the children. He does not want to get on their bad side. And so, in order to not get on their bad side, he doesn't want to get on the bad side of the ex. And that is the reality of it. Okay, let's move on to number 4. She makes unwarranted demands. Now, clearly, we understand that a man should take care of his children, not just financially, but he should be there emotionally. All right. He should guide them in life and help them make important decisions, all the things that a good father does. When I say unwarranted demands, that could be something that has nothing to do with the children. All right. So if she wants to go on a shopping spree with her girls, and she makes a demand that I need more money this month so I can do this, or I need you to pay for my plane ticket. Maybe on the weekend or the week when she would normally have the children and you make a plan, she decides to make a plan after your man's plans and then demands that he cancel what he's doing, what he planned a long time ago so that she can what? Make her own plans. And if she doesn't, she's going to spin that story to the children. Your dad doesn't want to be bothered with you. Your dad doesn't want to see you. I wanted to do this and your dad won't help me out. So those are examples, which there are so many others of making unwarranted demands. Maybe she decides, well, I want to move into a bigger house and I want to get a new car. And so I'm going to demand an extra exorbitant amount of money. Unwarranted demands. All right. That is a sign that you are dealing with a controlling, manipulating ex. Number 5, if she drops by unannounced, that is a problem. Not only if she drops by unannounced, but if she has a key to your man's house, huge problem, huge red flag. Nobody should be dropping by anybody's house unannounced, especially not an ex. So if she drops by late at night or she drops by early in the morning or you're having your noonday brunch and she just stops by, that's a problem. If she just stops by his job unannounced, that's a problem. And that goes back to number 1, not having healthy boundaries. All right. It is no reason why any ex should be dropping by and stopping by unannounced. That might work on TV and it might be funny on TV, but in real life, that is a huge problem. It's insane. But I've seen it done. And I know people do have the nerve to do it. I've seen it. I've understood. I've heard stories where the police had to be called because the ex kept stopping by, dropping by, taking things, stealing. All right, let's move on to number 6. If she calls multiple times a day, all right? Not, well, I'm calling you because I'm at work and so-and-so is sick. Our son is sick. Our daughter's sick. Can you go pick them up? I mean, yeah, we're not talking about calling multiple times a day. How you doing? Calling multiple times a day. What you doing this weekend? What's going on? And calling your ex multiple times a day to talk about what's going on in your house. To talk about what the children have been telling her is going on in your house. Yes, that happens. An ex will talk about and try to call multiple times a day talking about your man's life, your man's personal business. Because number 1, again, there are no boundaries. Number 2, she's using what the children are telling her for leverage, all right? And now she has a reason in her mind, it's not legitimate, to call multiple times a day. Even if she has a problem in her personal life, she should not be calling multiple times a day asking his advice about her personal life, about her work life, about her friendship life. Her life is not his life. So again, that is a sign of a controlling, manipulating ex, calling multiple times a day. Number 7, if your man stops, drops, and rolls out whenever she calls, that is huge. That is a major red flag. That is a major sign that that ex is still in control. She's still manipulating your man. All right. If she just calls and says, "Oh my goodness, I just saw a mouse," and if he jumps up and runs right over there, "Oh my goodness, I have a headache. Can you just," and he jumps right up and runs over there, "Such and such happened." No, that's a big capital N to the O. No, that should not be going on. So and so had a bad day in school. Run right over. I'm not saying, again, that he should not be involved in his child's life, but unless there was some type of accident, or, and I mean as in a child was hurt, or there was a grievance at school, but just, okay, he or she had a bad day. What do you mean? Put put so and so on the phone. Let me talk. But every time that ex calls to stop, drop, and roll out, "Oh, I got a leak in my sink. Call the plumber. Oh, I want to put down some hardwood floors. Come by and tell me how many boxes I need. Oh, I want to paint my cabinets. Can you come over here and tell me what color, what is a good neutral color? I need some furniture moved. Can you come and help my brother move the furniture?" No. If you see your husband or your mate or your man, fiance, dropping everything he does and running right over to his ex, that's a problem. If you see any of these signs, you may be in trouble. And so you have to consider, or rather reconsider, is this the life you want? If you are already engaged, you still have time to rethink that thing. If you're not engaged, definitely you have time to see, do any of these signs exist? And if they exist, is this something that I want to deal with? Do I want to be in a relationship with a man who, number one, has an ex who has not followed or established any boundaries? Number two, that your man makes excuses for her behavior. Number three, does he get anxious and does not stand up to her? All right, we're talking about your man, the one you're dating. Does she make unwarranted, ridiculous demands? Does she stop by unannounced? Number five. Number six, call him multiple times a day. And number seven, does he stop, drop, and roll whenever she calls? If you see these signs, reconsider. If you see these signs and you're already married and you're like, "My goodness, what have I gotten myself into?" It is okay. This channel, this whole series I'm doing is for you. I can show you the roadmap to help you navigate and maintain your peace if you see any of these signs, in addition to other signs. These are just the 7 top signs that you see to know that you might be in trouble. Never fear, I'm here and we can walk through this together. Thank you for joining me. Please make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button if you have not already. Make sure you share with a few friends, 3, 4, 5. Again, thank you for joining me. My website is verlyntarleton.com, VerlynTarleton.com, where you can pick up your freebies. In the meantime, may you experience extraordinary love. Bye for now.